Right, guys. Second video here today is you got your quantity up. What next should you be thinking on from a business perspective, of course. And I suppose one of the earliest kind of things you kind of have to figure out as well is what we'll focus on today is like pricing and competitor analysis. That like you've got your stock quantity up. You're thinking of turning professional in the stick making business. You have to see what the kind of going rate is of your products. Like if and you see like when you look at say the shillelagh making business, there's all categories of kind of levels of the sticks out there. You have your basic sticks that they call blackthorn. They could be hot. Basically, fake blackthorn goes for around like 20-25 euro. It used to be around like 10 euro, but the kind of because of things like I've done and other stick makers in terms of like creating the kind of the standards in terms of what the pricing of blackthorn would be over the years. It's kind of that's the first level. So are you going to be one of these guys that are on the 25 euro level, 1,000 sticks selling at 25 euro? You're not going to make a living out of that type of business. And usually at that level is more your factory sticks or guys that kind of just churn them on. And that's the kind of thing you tacky kind of sticks you see in like all the tourist shops and things like that. So with the pricing you have to analyze, okay, so that's the kind of first level. What's the kind of next level up? Then you have kind of sticks around like the 50-60 euro mark one, and they're not completely blackthorn. They might be like half a blackthorn and something else or something like that. A lot of these sticks would be kind of like the machine factory made ones, like the big, like the big Irish craft stores would kind of have the 50 euro, 60 euro type of sticks out there. Like they buy them in for, they wholesale for about like 20 to 25 euro. Sometimes you can get sticks blackthorn. Well, I say blackthorn sticks wholesale. They're not really blackthorn, for around anything from around 14 euro plus VAT to about 20-25 euro, and then they retail them then for around 50-60 euro, because usually like in retail they mark them up 3 times or 4 times. So say something costs you 10 euro and then you go into the shop, it's 40 euro per sale. So usually that's kind of how retailers price it. So however much they buy in the stock for, they usually multiply it by 3 or by 4, and that's how you kind of come up with your pricing on a lot of retail items. So like say for example like these jumpers or sweaters as you call them, really nice warm Aran jumpers. I get these for, I think it's around like 30 euro. They cost me wholesale, and then I'd sell them for around like 80 or something like that. So I make like 40-45 euro profit off each one of these type of ones that I sell. And so understanding pricing is very important from a business perspective. You have to understand what the market is, what the market demands, how you're going to position yourself in the market. Are you going to be like selling cheaply and quantity? Are you going to sell them more of a different level as well? Now the main kind of level for the real blackthorn makers is usually close to the 100 euro mark. It goes anything from around 80-90 euro up to around 120 euro, depending on the quality of the stick as well. And when you're in this price range, you're pretty much going to get a real blackthorn. Because of the hard work that goes into it, the amount of time, you really need to be priced in that spectrum to have a business. Because when you price a stick at about like 100 euro or whatever, like you have to pay tax on that, you have to pay for the paints, you have to pay for the finish, you have to account for the amount of time you put in for the stick, you have to account for cutting it as well, the storage, you have to be able to pay the rent if you have like a shop or a retail outlet as well. There's a lot of things that can come out of it. So to have a business in blackthorn stick making or in stick making, you really have to kind of aim for that kind of middle of the range like type of sticks. Now there's a few guys out there that sell sticks for 180 euro, and they spend a lot of time making them, but their quantity is very slow, and usually they'd get like a wood turned handle and they'd put it on like different other types of woods and call it blackthorn. Like it's not fully black. They're high quality sticks, but they're not like fully blackthorn. But there's all different levels. But like for that particular stick maker, it works very well. He creates very, very good sticks. They're not completely Blackthorn, but it's sometimes is how the stick looks and how it feels, and he's created a kind of a kind of little enterprise off of that. So there's all different levels. So that like at the top, like top stick makers, like you'd see guys with really like artisan sticks. They only make a few a week. I've seen sticks up to €300 like out there and things like that. But like this is a rustic stick, the Blackthorn. You're not going to be like carving Michelangelo's David on the top or something like a stuff. These are workhorses. These are fighting sticks. These are like the rustic, manly, really good type of walking stick, walking aid. Not only that, they're companions, they're weapons, they're all of these different things as well. So in terms of pricing, do that competitor analysis. You look at when I say competitor analysis, you just look as a guide to see what, if someone was searching for Blackthorn, what they would find and what they would see and what kind of pricing point it pretty is. And then you kind of position yourself well within that kind of like price range. So the basis there of this video is just to highlight you have to decide on what pricing will give you a business. If you get your pricing wrong, you do not have a professional stick making business. So I can't emphasize enough how you actually have to really have a think about pricing, have a think about how much time it makes to stick, how much quantity per week, because you need to make a living. If you want to be a professional stick maker, you have to have enough to survive, to feed your family, to eat food. And I do believe there is a living in stick making. I think it's a solitary road. It's very hard to kind of develop it into big business, but there's definitely a sustainable business model in stick making and in shillelagh making. And that's kind of what I kind of want to create in the channel, and to kind of show people, look, it can be done. I'll show you kind of what I've done and what's worked for me. But you got to find your own groove and find your own kind of way. Like you want to be a shillelagh maker, well done, but like think about what kind of shillelagh make you want to do, what kind of stick. Like do your own type of stick, do it your own kind of way, have your own style. Like different chefs have their own way of cooking, their own flavor. You have a certain thing that you like to do, you have a certain finish you like to do. There's plenty of scopes there as well. But pricing is important. Think of the pricing, write it down, work it out, make sure you have a living. If you get your pricing wrong and you try to sell too expensive and you can't sell them, or too cheap and you don't make a living, your business is over. You have to hit that sweet spot right in the middle where it's what the market demands, it gives you enough there, it's what people can afford, and get your pricing right at the start, just before you set up through some research. And that's the kind of price. So on shillelagh making, about the €100 mark is where you need to be at, like for your sticks. And just bear in mind, you don't get that whole €100 into your pocket as profit. There's costs associated with that, but like you can kind of €50 you can probably gauge as your minimum profit margin if you're priced like around kind of like 100. Again, it gives you, like, you probably do a bit more profit margin on it, but just take a conservative estimate for when you're setting up as a professional basis. Okay, thanks for watching. There's video 2 there on pricing.